Welcome back to Conversations with Manny. So, today's food for thought, transition and growth. Now, outgrowing things is a natural part of life, much like how kids grow out of their favorite clothes. You know those old shirts that used to fit perfectly, but now feels tight and uncomfortable? Well, it's the same thing with careers, with jobs, with stages of our lives, and even habits. Growth is like a journey that we embark on, especially for those of us who are fortunate enough to keep evolving as we become more seasoned. But let's be real, growth isn't always easy. Sure, we often focus on the exciting parts, right? The new beginnings, the moving to a new place, the starting fresh. However, there's another side to growth that doesn't get as much attention. What happens when you finally achieve what you've been working for, only to feel a sense of emptiness? Now, imagine this, right? You stepped into your dream job, but instead of feeling fulfilled, you feel like you're wearing a favorite sweatshirt that suddenly feels just too tight. Something you once loved starts to feel constricted, and it's tough to reconcile that feeling. Now, we hear a lot about outgrowing relationships or even friendships, and there are plenty of guides to help us figure out when it's time to move on. The idea of outgrowing parts of ourselves is pretty common also. It's often seen as a good thing, right? Like shredding old beliefs as we gain new perspectives, and letting go of habits that no longer serve us. But what if we get everything we thought we wanted? We get a great career, we get a fancy circle, we get a circle of friends, and we still feel that nagging sense that it's not right for us. Well, we're used to moving on from things that don't fit us. But what about when we outgrow what we believe we should want? Now, outgrowing can take actually many forms. It might mean leaving behind what seemed like a perfect relationship or moving back to a place you've never imagined you'd return. Sometimes it's about letting go of that side hustle, right? The dream that never materialized. Now, contrary to what we often hear, these are not signs of giving up. No, they're signs of growth. See, learning what doesn't work for us can be just as valuable as figuring out what does. Now, often we cling to our expectations of how life should unfold, sometimes to the point that it'll overshadow what really makes us happy. We chase after what we've been told we should want, even if it doesn't truly fulfill us. Now, this raises an important question. How do we break free from the version of ourselves we thought we become? Well, one simple answer. Embrace who we are right now. See, our choices are influenced by our circumstances, by our resources, by our time. It's one thing to realize your dream job isn't what you thought it was. It's entirely different to have the freedom to quit without worrying about paying the bills. Reassessing our desires shouldn't be taboo or seen as straying from the path. Instead, it's an opportunity to grow, to adapt as our life changes. Shouldn't that be part of maturing too? Now, let me give you a personal example. For the past few years, I've made it a habit to read something every morning, right? It's like my little ritual to start the day off right. After I read or I read, I share what I've learned with the people I'm connected to. Now, at first, I would just write down my thoughts and send them out. I found it really rewarding to put my ideas into words and to share them with others. And I stuck with that for about a year and a half, maybe two. But then I wanted to try something new. So I switched things up and started what? Recording voice notes instead. This way I could share my thoughts in a more personal way, like having a conversation. And most recently, I took another step. I decided to share my insights through video on YouTube. Now, it's been exciting to see how this journey has evolved, and I love connecting with people in different ways as I continue to grow. Now, rather than sticking to the rigid script we've written for ourselves or that society has imposed on us, let's explore who we truly are and what generally matters to us. See, instead of focusing on growing into the next big thing, perhaps we can appreciate ourselves as we are right now. See, that's where the real growth begins. Now, for me, there's something comforting in recognizing the beauty of endings and the closing of chapters. When we build our lives around a certain vision of what we want, it could be jarring to realize that we no longer desire that. It's just another transition, another way of discovering who we are. Our feelings, our dreams, and our perspectives can shift. And guess what? That's part of being human. We're not simply defined by our past actions or stuck to a plan. No, we're individuals who keep evolving, or at least should keep evolving, constantly noticing, imagining new possibilities, and responding to what life represents. And I think that that's a pretty wonderful way to grow. Now, if you found value in this message, please subscribe, please like, please comment, and most important, please share. Help us get to 500 subscribers by January 1st. With that, have an amazing start to the week.